Good afternoon and welcome into another matchup here in Northern California for your San Luis Obispo Blues. It's a warm Thursday afternoon in the Bay Area, and we're in Monte Vista High School in Danville, where the Walnut Creek Crawdads welcome the Blues. This is the second game of the road trip for San Luis Obispo, coming off a rough loss to the Merchants in Alameda last night, 10-6. They look to right the ship and snap this four-game losing skid here against the first-place Walnut Creek Crawdads. Welcome inside the broadcast area. My name's Jacob Lee. I'll be in this week for Addy. I'm going to do a solo broadcast tonight. Vincent, our director of baseball ops, is in the dugout tonight. We're doing all of our analytics work and keeping the boys up to date on analytics stuff. Well, this is a division matchup, like I said, between the first place Walnut Creek Crawdads and your Blues, who are in second place in the CCL. The winning percentage determines who's in the standings, and Walnut Creek jumped us with two nights ago when the Blues lost to the Foresters despite having played 8 less games. As I said last night, the loss to the Merchants in Alameda, 10-6. Blues had a 5-2 lead after 4.5 innings, but blew the lead with Alameda's big innings in both the 5th and the 7th. And this has kind of been a theme for this team this week, with the defensive woes continuing with 3 errors and a 4-game losing streak, as I said, 4-7 in the month of July. Stark contrast to the month of June when the Blues went 19-7. Walnut Creek beat the Stompers 7-6 right here in Danville over the weekend. They've had a few more days to cool off and prep and get pitching sorted out. And they're on a 3-game winning streak. So the SLO's coming in with a losing streak, Walnut Creek coming in with the winning streak. And they claimed first place in the North at the beginning of play yesterday. San Luis Obispo will send Trey Legron III, a left-handed pitcher, to the mound today. This season, he's appeared in 7 games, allowing no earned runs through 10 innings of work, mostly out of the bullpen. The keys to the game, I spoke with Vincent earlier today, and he said, look, we got to fix that defense. We've had 8 total errors over the last few games and 8 walks last night. We got to reduce those free base runners and get length from our starting pitcher, Legron. So those will be the keys to the game for the Blues tonight. We'll see what they can do against this first-place Walnut Creek team, who's in first place. And as we come down the home stretch of the regular season here, every game matters, every inning matters. Glad to have you with us. You're watching the Blues at the Crawdads. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the first pitch and more from Monte Vista High School in Danville. You're watching the SLO Blues streaming network. Back here in Danville, ready to start today's ball game. Dom Nahar is going to start things off for the Blues. He's the leadoff hitter, playing left field today. Vance Haskins on the mound for Walnut Creek, wearing their red tops with the black bottoms. The first pitch of the ball game in there for strike one, 1 minute after the hour. Getting started right on time here in the Bay Area. As I said, a warm summer afternoon. Right around 79, 80 degrees. The 0-1 is fouled back. Right behind the Crawdads dugout here at Monte Vista High School. Crawdads are down the first base line in the dugout, and the Blues are down the third base line. Field facing roughly due south. The sun will be moving over towards the first base side as we progress toward play tonight. Next pitch is high to make it a ball and 2 strikes to Nahar. Last night at Alameda, Nahar went 1 for 5 from the leadoff spot as well. The pitch is swung and driven into left field foul. The third baseman, Parker, looks up at it, and he makes the catch in foul ground near the fence. First batter retired for Haskins. So Cesar Chavez will take his turn at the plate. Made a nice play in center field defensively yesterday. Also is in the 2-hole and starting in center field. Blues are wearing their gray road jerseys with navy blue sleeves and yellow accents, or piping I should say, on the sleeves. Chavez, a right-handed hitter, digs in. The first pitch to him from Haskins, a ball low. One and 0 to the 2-hole hitter. Chavez wearing number 49. 1-0 with 1 out. Ball low. Make it 2 balls and no strikes. Plus count here for the 2-hole hitter for San Luis Obispo, the 2-0. It'll be in there on the outside corner to make it 2-1. Chavez is from Walnut, California. Not to be confused with Walnut Creek here in the Bay Area. Walnut, California is in eastern Los Angeles County. And he's undecided as to his next school to play ball at. That pitch is inside, almost hits him. Turned away from that pitch to avoid that. We'll move the count to 3 balls and a strike. Haskins takes his time, sets and fires. That one's inside. It'll be a walk. We'll set the table for Brendan Comerford. Forgot to mention Chavez was a CCL All-Star this season, making the trip out to Reno for the All-Star game, which was played back on July 4th at the Reno Aces Stadium. What a way to celebrate America's 250th year of independence. Comerford, in his own right, was also an All-Star, homered in that game, made for a nice highlight reel. He'll bat here with 1 out. There's a pickoff move over to first base to keep Chavez close. He'll dive in safely. Comerford yesterday went 2 for 5 against Alameda. Also, has kind of turned into the everyday third baseman here for San Luis. He fouls that one on the ground to the third base dugout. Right-handed batter from right down the road in Pleasanton. Oh, and 1 to him. The pitch grounded on the ground. Parker makes a diving stop, bobbles the ball, throws over to first. They got him. Parker had to dive to his right toward the foul line there to make the play. He bobbled the ball initially and picked it right up off the ground. Threw it over, beat Comerford by a step, maybe two. Nice play for the Crawdads leadoff hitter. We'll bring up Kyle Becker, the designated hitter for San Luis Day, in the cleanup spot. He's moving up from the 6 hole where he batted yesterday, also in designated hitter duty. Becker, also an all-star from the University of San Diego, also hailing from the San Diego area. First pitch to him is low. So 2 down and a runner on second. Chavez advancing on the 5-3. The pitch swung on the ground to second base. Carlisle picks it up. He'll toss over to Taylor, and that'll end the inning for San Luis Obispo. Not too much going for the Blues to start things off. The Blues defense and Trey Lagrone III coming up next on the SLO Blues streaming network. Welcome back to Monte Vista High School, bottom of the first. The home Crawdads coming to bat for the first time today, and they will deal with Trey Lagrone from Reno, Nevada, having played his junior college ball this past season as a freshman at West Valley College down the 680 in San Jose. Appeared in 14 games, starting 8 of them, went 4-2 with a 4.69 ERA. Committed to UNLV out of high school. The first pitch to leadoff hitter Parker Jr. is in there for a strike. Parker playing third base today, made that nice diving grab in the top half of the inning to get Brendan Comerford at first base. The lefty deals and fires in there for strike 2. Early 0-2, establishing the zone for Lagrone. We said in the open, and talking to Director of Baseball Operations Vincent Regalado, this is exactly what the Blues need, is the length out of their starting pitching, keeping those bullpen arms fresh. This one swung on and popped up to right field. Going towards the line is Suzuki in foul ground. He'll make the play right in front of the Crawdads bullpen. We'll make it 1 down here in the first. Bring up the 2-hitter playing shortstop today for Walnut Creek, Elijah Ramos. There were some late scratches to line up, and right before this game, about 20 minutes before first pitch, I was given a new lineup card. Ramos moving from the 9 position to bat second here today. He's playing shortstop, originally scheduled to play second base. The first pitch from Lagrone to him is inside. Ramos is a junior at CSU East Bay, hailing from Fremont. Solid middle infielder for this team. This one swung on and driven into left field. The left fielder, Nahar, goes back on the warning track, puts it away. Took a good first step, did the fundamentals, got behind that ball, and they teach you catch it at the apex. Well, what does that mean? It's you're going to get under the ball when it gets to its apex and position yourself in such a way that you can make that catch, and in the situation of having runners on base, you'll be ready to make a throw back into the infield. 2 quick outs for the Blues and for Trey Legrone. Ryan Ellis at the dish, the designated hitter. He'll look at ball 1 low and away. Ellis is a redshirt senior at Sac State, but originally from Peoria, Arizona. The 1-0 delivery is outside. On the outside corner, taken for strike 1. Will even the count at 1. So 2 down. The lefty Ellis swings and misses. Had a ball in the dirt, touched the white paint of the right-handed batter's box. Will now have to protect the plate with 2 outs. 1 and 2. Legrone, the lefty, looks in for the sign. He's satisfied with it. Comes set, kicks and deals. Swung on and chopped on the ground, foul. Just past first base. We'll reset and do it again. So 1 and 2 to the 3-hole hitter, Ellis. Legrone's ready, and the pitch. Fouled off down the third base line. A couple foul balls here after being in an early 1-2 hole for the 3-hole. Legrone establishing command early. 2 down. He's in a 1 and 2 advantage against Ryan Ellis with blue batting gloves. The pitch is in there. Strike 3 called. Good breaking pitch over the heart of the plate. Ellis just froze and looked at it. So a perfect first inning for Trey Legrone the third. We'll head to the second frame. Blues are coming to bat on the SLO Blues streaming network. Welcome back to Monte Vista High School. It's the top of the second. No score between the Blues and the Crawdads. 5-hole for San Luis Obispo. Diego Murillo will lead things off, playing shortstop today. Hails from SLO and attended SLO High School. Has been in a number of places in his college career, first at Cuesta College in SLO, then Northeastern State in 2025, most recently at Cal Poly Pomona this past season. He takes strike 1. This past season, he was an everyday infielder. Murillo was, appearing in 47 games and starting in 46 of them, hitting .245 with 35 hits, 24 runs scored, and 13 RBIs. Takes ball 1 inside. That's an interesting stat on that Pomona team. He led the team with 5 sacrifice bunts. So in that situation where you need to move a runner over, Murillo's your guy. Want to play that small ball game. He grounds this one to the shortstop, Ramos, who collects, throws over to first for the out. So the 6-3 makes it 1 down here in the second. It'll be C.J. Moran, the first baseman for San Luis Obispo today. Got the day off yesterday, as Johnny Rodriguez got that spot start in his place up in Alameda. Back in the lineup today, a left-handed hitter from Murrieta. Just played his sophomore season at the University of San Diego, the Toreros. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it back behind the Blues dugout. Very familiar with San Diego baseball. Actually was a freshman at San Diego State, playing there in 2025, and started 44 games for the Aztecs, then transferred over to the Toreros. Looks at ball 1. Mentioned it on the broadcast yesterday. A distinguished alumni of USD, former San Francisco Giant Chris Bryant. Takes that one to make it 2-1. .330 hitter at USD this past spring. Looks at a ball on the outside, called strike 2 to even the count at 2. Was an even more prolific hitter as a freshman, batting .377, starting 44 games, 36 RBIs in that freshman campaign. Looks at a ball outside, the count will run full. Full count, Haskins delivers. That's strike 3 called on the outside corner. Moran doesn't like it. Slams his bat on the plate in frustration and heads back to the dugout. In what was otherwise a great at-bat, working the count full there and being patient with pitches given to him by Haskins early. I'll bring up the catcher, Miles Mador. A redshirt freshman coming to the Blues from Indiana University. Obviously, your recent college football playoff national champions. First pitch to him hits the outside corner for strike 1. Played his first season as a Hoosier, but hails from Atlanta, Georgia. When I think of Atlanta, I think of Waffle House. Swings and misses at strike 2 to make it 0-2. We're number 48 as a Blue, has his red batting gloves, red left arm sleeve, and a red leg protector, or shin protector, I should say. Looks at one down the middle. That's strike 3 called. That'll do it for the Blues in their half of the second inning. So nothing doing in the first 2 frames. Legrone will look to replicate his magic from the first inning in the second. We'll be right back on the SLO Blues streaming network. Back here in Danville, Walnut Creek is up to bat in their half of the second, the last of the second. Lagrone will deal with 4, 5, and 6 after a 1-2-3 inning in the first. And he'll start with the catcher, Riley Winchell. First pitch to Winchell's low and in the dirt for ball 1. Winchell, a sophomore, attending Chabot College, originally from Livermore, right down the road. We're number 19. Once again, the red tops and black bottoms for the Crawdads this afternoon. Winchell hits this one on a fly to center field. Moving toward right field is Cesar Chavez. He'll make the catch in shallow right center. First batter retired for Lagrone with his continued efficiency here early. Going to bring up Cam Taylor, the first baseman. He's got quite the electric walk-up and PA announcement there to announce his arrival to the batter's box. He's also lefty with the left-on-left matchup. He'll look at strike 1 on the outside corner. Yellow batting gloves for Taylor from Lithonia, Georgia. Swing and a chopper down the first baseline, foul. Moran grabs it and taps first just to be sure, but it was a foul ball. You know, these Crawdads uniforms reminiscent of the Cincinnati Reds current City Connects. Reds wear them every once in a while. Only difference might be the font of the jersey number on the back. But they've got black helmets as well. Obviously a choice on a warm summer Bay Area day. The pitch swung on and missed. That'll be a strikeout, the second of the day for Lagrone. Bryden Bull will make his way to the plate from the University of Mississippi, playing center field today for Walnut Creek, hailing from Bullhead City, Arizona. So another lefty-lefty matchup here for Lagrone to deal with. The first offering high and just a bit outside for ball 1. This one's chopped past the pitcher's mound to second base. Alves Fields throws over to Moran. And another 1-2-3 inning for Trey Lagrone. 2 very efficient innings for the kid from Reno. The Blues are going to take another stab at the plate when we come back on the SLO Blues streaming network. Welcome back to Danville on the SLO Blues streaming network. It's the top of the third in a scoreless ball game between your Blues and the home team, Walnut Creek Crawdads. Kosei Suzuki, the 8-hole hitter for San Luis Obispo, will lead things off. It'll be him, followed by Alves, who made the play to close out the bottom of the second, and then back to the top of the order. First pitch to Suzuki is in there for strike one. Suzuki's got quite the story and quite the travel history. He hails from Saitama, Japan, the only international player on this team. Played his college ball at LaSalle University in Philly. Ball one high. Philly, the recent host of the MLB All-Star Game, obviously, a fitting tribute with that Sandlot tribute for America's 250th birthday. 1-1, popped up, foul. This past season, he played in 37 games, starting in 33 of them, batted .246. 8 multi-hit games from the Japan native. Like we said, he's well-traveled. His bio on the LaSalle website says he's played on 3 different continents as part of his baseball journey. So he was born and raised in Japan, moved to Australia to play high school ball at Seton High School in Adelaide. Then came stateside, played at Frank Phillips College, NJCAA Division I member in North Texas. Career .989 there in North Texas. He foul tips that one into the catcher's glove for out number 1. He'll bring up the 9-hole Brady Alves. Alves is from Fallon, Nevada, playing ball at Butte College. Did not come off the bench yesterday as Diego Gonzalez got the start at second base for that Tuesday game. Square shows bunt early, looks at strike one, pulled it back. Thought twice about that one. No one on base, 1 out here in the third. Vance Haskins and Trey Legrone both early cruising here on a Thursday afternoon. Haskins delivers. This one's popped up foul behind third base. Parker Jr. moves over towards the Blues dugout, makes the catch in foul ground right in front of that third base dugout for a quick out number 2. Got over there in a hurry. Decent amount of foul ground here at Monte Vista. Made the quick sprint over there from his position, grabbed it right in front of the dugout. Third base coach Vincent Regalado was quick to get out of the way there. So 2 outs. Lineup card turns over to Dom Nahar. Popped up to Parker in foul ground in his first at-bat. Check swing on the first pitch. Field umpire ruled that he did not swing to make it 1-0. So 2 down in the third. Haskins sets and delivers. That one's inside for ball number 2. The strike digit on the scoreboard here at Monte Vista seems to be out, so we're just recording balls right now. 2-1 as that one's poured into the strike zone. Nahar looks at it. Home of the Monte Vista Mustangs, it would appear. Plenty of red, white, and black coloring around the stadium, though, for the Crawdads. This one is grounded on the ground to shortstop. Ramos throws over to Cam Taylor to retire the side. Well, nothing doing for the Blues in the third. This game keeps rolling around. It's 0-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Back here in Danville for the bottom of the third between the Blues and the Crawdads. Miles Mador throws it down and we're ready to go. A great day for Legrone thus far. It'll be 7, 8, 9. Brandon Clisby will get things started for Walnut Creek, the left fielder today. Right-handed hitter. Hailing from Alamo, California, attending New Mexico State. Legrone's ready to go. First pitch of the inning is in there for strike one on the outside. The 0-1 delivery. Swing and a fly ball into center field. Chavez takes a few steps back. Makes the catch, out number one. We'll bring up Dylan Perez in right field today for Walnut Creek. Lefty on lefty. First pitch to him, inside. Looked like a strike from up here, but alas, called ball one. Nine-hole hitter Lucas Carlisle waits on deck. He was not in the original lineup today, but due to those aforementioned scratches, some adjustments were made. He's in there as the second baseman hitting ninth. Strike one called to Perez. So 1-1 with one out. The pitch grounded on the ground hard to second base. Alves moves to his left. Fields throws over. That's out number two. And we're sitting pretty close to the PA system here at Monte Vista, so a lot of the announcements are very audible. And as you heard, it'll be Lucas Carlisle, the second baseman, a late add to the lineup starting at second base today. Right-handed batter digs in from Los Gatos, California. Swings and misses at strike one. Carlisle is a graduate of Los Gatos High School and also played some club and travel ball with Quicksilver. A sophomore at Santa Barbara City takes ball one inside. One and one from the kid from the south to the kid from the South Bay, I should say. Legrone taking his time, kicks and delivers. This one's hit on the ground to third base. Comerford, the all-star, shuffles, throws across to first for the out. Another 1-2-3 inning. While the game's moving right along, we have somehow completed 3 full innings. It only took about half an hour, but we're headed to the fourth. 0-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Back here at Monte Vista High School in Danville, 0-0. Blues are back up to bat in the top of the fourth. 2, 3, 4. First 3 batters will be CCL All-Stars for this season, starting with the center fielder, Cesar Chavez. 75 and sunny. The first pitch from Haskins, grounded, a chopper over the head of the second baseman Carlisle into right field. It'll be a hit. First hit of the ball game for San Luis. Can't argue with a leadoff base runner here in what looks to be a pitcher's duel, and base runners are going to come at a premium, and will set the table for Brendan Comerford, grounded out to third base in his first at-bat back in the first. Crowding the plate, his left foot is on the chalk line in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch to him, grounded to Parker at third base. He'll make the turn to second, the throw on to first. 2, a double play. It'll be 5-4-3. We'll bring up Kyle Becker, who grounded out to second his first time up. Becker, a lefty, standing in at 6-1 from San Diego. Chopped on the ground, foul to the left of first base. 0-1. Becker went 2 for 5 yesterday with a couple singles against the Merchants. Also in designated hitter duty, we already said it. He moved up to the 4-hole from the 6-hole for today's game. Ready to go, and waits for the 0-1 delivery from Vance Haskins. Swing and a fly ball into center field. Bull takes a couple steps back, reaches up, and makes the grab to retire the side. So Chavez gets the Blues in the hit column. Otherwise, not too much offense going on. We'll keep things rolling here on the SLO Blues streaming network. 0-0. Bottom of the fourth from Monte Vista High School in Danville. Looks to be a pitcher's duel thus far, with just one hit for either team through the first 3.5 frames. The lineup card turns over for Walnut Creek. The third baseman, Kevin Parker Jr., will make his second plate appearance. Popping out to the right fielder Suzuki in the first inning in foul ground. Parker takes ball one. The 1-0 to Parker Jr. low and away, it'll be 2-0. Parker is a senior from Texas Southern University, hailing from Brentwood, California. Two and 0 on the inner half. He takes it, strike one. The 2-1. Check swing. There's a sword, as Trevor Bauer would say, for strike two. Bauer, obviously, in his time in the major leagues, popularized the sword celebration when a hitter checks their swing and commits. Coming up short there. The 2-2 delivery. Bounced in the dirt. It will roll away towards the backstop on the third base side to make the count full. Grown gets the sign, comes set, and quickly delivers. Bouncing ball to third base. Comerford backhands it, throws across his body for the out. Made a backhand grab on the infield grass, then made a jump throw. Hit C.J. Moran in the chest on that one for out number one. You can start to see why Comerford is a defensive cornerstone for this Blues team, and not a surprise whatsoever that he was elected to the All-Star team. Has spent a few seasons with the Blues now. Seems to be a team favorite in the clubhouse as well from everything I've heard. Ball one to the two-hole hitter. Elijah Ramos pours in. Ramos flied out to left last time up in the first. He's ahead here, 1-0. Swing and a pop-up out to right field. Suzuki traces it, will make the play. Took a few steps back, took a few steps to his left, completed the play for an F9. The designated hitter, Ryan Ellis, will come to the plate. Backwards K for him in the first. Ellis, the lefty, with bright blue, baby blue, I should say, batting gloves. First delivery to him is on the outside for ball one. Grounded on the ground to first base and past the glove of C.J. Moran into right field for a base hit. That will be the first hit and the first base runner allowed by Trey LeGrone today. So a two-out hit will bring up Riley Winchell, the catcher. Or Winchell, I beg your pardon. Winchell from Livermore. And what looks to be a vast majority of the Crawdads players are wearing their socks in the high socks fashion in today's ball game. Black socks with the black pants. You can really only tell where the pant ends and the sock begins by the little white line at the top, a few inches below the knee. The first delivery from LeGrone is fouled. First baseman Moran is tracking it towards the fence. Makes the play in front of the batting practice turtle right behind that fence down the first base line. That'll do it for the Crawdads in the fourth inning. So just the one hit surrendered by LeGrone. He keeps cruising, and so do the Blues. They're coming up to bat when we come back on the SLO Blues streaming network. Welcome back to Monte Vista High School. It's the top of the fifth in a 0-0 ball game. New arm is on the hill for Walnut Creek. It'll be Miles Brand from Newark, attending Modesto College. So Haskins goes 4 full, allows just the 1 hit. And 3 strikeouts for Haskins. Diego Maria will lead things off. First pitch from Brand is in there for called strike 1. Brand, the righty, check swing, maybe off the knob, but looked to be potentially off the catcher's mask of Winchell. Back there behind the dish, umpire goes out to give Brand a new baseball, give Winchell a little time to collect himself. Definitely heard the impact. I wasn't sure where exactly, if Murillo had foul tipped it off the knob of the bat, but nevertheless 0-2. Brand enters the game. He's got a 3-pitch mix. Fastball, slider, changeup. Uses his slider just 6% less than his fastball, at least to right-handed hitters, 45.6% of the time. His fastball, 51.8. Murillo fouls this one back to the screen. Keeps the count at 0-2. Interestingly enough, Brand's only thrown 39 pitches to left-handed batters in the sample from this season, as opposed to 114 to right-handers. We'll be lucky to see that changeup only being used 2.6% of the time. Ball is low to Murillo. So a ball and 2 strikes to the 5-man. Playing shortstop with his signature yellow arm sleeves, also a choice in this hot Bay Area weather, at least warm today. A little bit drier than yesterday. He looks at a ball on the outside. Counts full to Diego. He's worked a good at-bat here. Was down 0-2. Now has worked the count full. The 3-2. Swing and a fly ball into right center. The right fielder and center fielder converge on it, and that'll drop in between Bull and Perez. It looked like Perez might have made the call, and Bull did not call him off. Perez kind of lazily stuck his glove out there, and it glanced off it onto the turf. So Murillo's aboard to start the 5th for San Luis Obispo. That'll be an E9.
Now batting the first baseman, number 24, C.J. Moran.
We'll bring up C.J. Moran for his second at-bat of the day. Backwards K for him in the second. The Murrieta native digs in from the left side. Brand raises his arms above his head, comes set, kicks and deals. Fouled straight back to the screen on a line. 0-1. Leadoff man aboard. They'll check over for Murillo, and that was probably a lot closer than anyone on the Blues would have wanted. Murillo gets back in safely as the righty Brand checks on him. Gets a fairly conservative lead. I'd say he's about a foot to the right of that cutout, right in front of first base. A second pickoff move over, and that ball almost got away from the first baseman, Cam Taylor, but he corrals it right behind the bag to prevent advancement on the part of Murillo. Oh and 1 to the lefty Moran. That ball's inside, evens the count at 1. Hey, we've got the strike indicator on the scoreboard here at Monte Vista back up and working. So props to the Crawdads team, the Monte Vista team out here. This one swung on and fouled on a line down the first base line. It'll roll towards the softball field. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brand sets, then pauses, then delivers. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. 2 Ks for Moran in today's ball game. Did not play yesterday, as we said. It will bring up Miles Mador. Mador from IU. As Pat McAfee would say on College Game Day, Hoosiers. National champion in football. Led by the prolific Fernando Mendoza, who actually just got his business degree from Cal Berkeley on the other side of the bay. Ball 1 to Mador is outside. You know, Mendoza probably has one of the most interesting LinkedIn profiles of any professional athlete I've ever seen. I mean, who else can say that they have a degree and played college ball? That one's on the ground to third. The turn at second base, and then on to first for a 5-4-3 double play will end the inning. And so we are done with 4.5 here in Danville, and we haven't even reached the 5 o'clock hour yet. It's 0-0 on the SLO Blue streaming network. More on Fernando Mendoza when we come back. Back here in Danville in the Bay Area, it's the bottom of the 5th in a 0-0 ball game between the Blues and the Crawdads as the San Luis Obispo Blues road trip here in mid-July rolls on. Lagrone is on the hill for inning number 5 of work, only surrendering the 1 hit last inning. Really no other blemishes on his performance today, recording a couple strikeouts. He'll deal with Cam Taylor, the left-handed hitting first baseman. Ball 1 to him is low and away. Well, we were saying right before the break, Fernando Mendoza, obviously a CFP national champion, a Heisman Trophy winner, in his LinkedIn profile says as much. Just in the header alone, you have NFL QB, CFP national champion, Heisman Trophy winner, strike 1 called. 1-1 count. Haas School of Business graduate, right? Went to school right down the road at Cal Berkeley, as we said. What a success story he has been. Next pitch is inside to Taylor. We'll run the count to 2 balls and a strike. Obviously a decent amount of Raiders fans in this area, despite them having departed for Vegas a number of years ago. But I would say most people here at the ballpark today probably pledge their allegiance to the San Francisco 49ers. That one's foul tipped off the mask of the catcher, Miles Mador, to even the count at 2. Obviously the faithful, as they call themselves. Oh, F33? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I will. Thank you. That ball is outside. We'll run the count full. Ball 4 is low. Taylor will take his base. So a leadoff walk here for the Crawdads in their half of the 5th. We'll bring up the center fielder, Bryden Bowl. There's a wild pitch back to the backstop, gets by Mador. The runner will advance to second and take a turn. Was loaned away to the lefty Bull. Taylor saw his opportunity and took it. Will probably go down as a wild pitch, and ball 1 to the center fielder in the 6 hole today. So a leadoff walk over to second on the wild pitch. This one's right there, dotted on the outside corner for strike 1. Trey Lagrone picking up a paintbrush and painting that corner. Counts even at 1 with the runner taking his leadoff second. Fouled right back to the screen, 1-2. There's a line shot into right field. Suzuki goes back and makes the catch above his head. Tagging up to third will be Taylor. He will get in there safely ahead of the throw. So technically a sacrifice fly on that one. Out number 1 recorded by Suzuki out there. He took a very interesting route. I think he might have taken his first step in, but then he was able to adjust. Make the play and then plant his foot and throw over to third base. Comerford applied the tag, but Taylor was too quick with it. So a runner on third base now with 1 down in the 5th. Brandon Clisby steps to the plate, flight out to center in the 3rd. Swing and a miss for strike 1, effective breaking pitch from the left hand of Trey Lagrone. And you got to think whatever happens in this inning, this will be a quality start for the kid, knock on wood. Grounded to shortstop, playing in on the grass was Murillo. He'll check the runner to third, throw over to first for the out. So the 6-3 makes it 2 down in the 5th. Obviously, the Blues coaching staff positioning their players well for that play and playing those percentages with the spray charts. Surely Regalado and the team looked at those before the game. The first pitch to Dylan Perez is outside. So 2 down now. We said yesterday with the early start in Alameda, players had a little bit more time to rest up and get over to their hotel in Concord where they'll be the next 2 nights and ostensibly look at some of that film, break down the scouting report, and get prepared for the first place Crawdads here today. The next pitch is also high for a 2-0 count to the 8-hole hitter. Perez stands in as a lefty. We'll look at a ball high. 3-0, the first such count that LeGrone has encountered here today. Perez stands 6 foot, 175 from Baylor. A bear, as it were. LeGrone kicks and fires. That's in there for strike 1, and Mador threw down to third just to keep Cam Taylor from moving too far ahead off that third base bag. Obviously with a 2-out lead, won't be too liberal with it. That one's driven into right field, but right at Kosei Suzuki, who's having himself quite an active day out there in right field. No picking dandelions for the kid from Saitama, Japan. LeGrone gets out of what could be a jam there. 0-0. Headed to the 6th on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top 6 coming to you from Danville. Kosei Suzuki, who just made that play in right field to end the bottom of the 5th, will take his place in the batter's box and will lead things off. Miles Brand back out there. First pitch is ripped in between third and shortstop for a hit. Wasting no time is Suzuki. He's aboard. Defensive change for the Crawdads. Taking over behind the dish, doing the catching will be Drew Longacre, a redshirt freshman from William Jessup up in the Rockland, Roseville area. Leadoff single shows bunt into the glove, though. Throw down to first, not in time. Brady Alves looked at that first pitch, squared and bunted it. Longacre picked it up, threw it over to first, but to no avail. Shows bunt again. This one's bunted successfully down the first base line. The pitcher, Brand, picks it up, cannot get it out of his glove. Alves will get down to first safely on the infield single. So first and second now, still nobody down.
Now batting the left fielder number 23.
Yeah, that post is
Jar.
Thank you. Dom Nahar will come up again as the leadoff hitter. Bunts down the first base line, foul. 0-1. Nahar shows bunt early, pulls the bat back, takes strike two. The 0-2 delivery is inside, ball one. One and two to the leadoff man, Nahar. Swing and a miss. Nahar heads back to the dugout with a strikeout for the first out of the inning. Still first and second for the Blues and a prime scoring opportunity.
Now batting the center fielder number 39, Cesar Chavez.
So the two-hole hitter, Cesar Chavez, will come to the plate second, or third at bat of the day, I should say. Walked and singled earlier. Swing and a foul behind the first base dugout. Suzuki on second, Alves on first. Both take their leads off. Brand checks and fires. This one's lined into right field, but right at Dylan Perez out there. Both runners have to retreat. It'll be out number two. Brendan Comerford makes his way to the plate for the third time today, seeking his first hit of the afternoon. Two down in the Blues' sixth inning. Looks at strike one on the outside. The effective fastball out of the hand of Brand. Comerford likes to crowd that plate. At this point, the line on the right-handed batter's box closest to home plate is almost practically fully erased, as is the back line of the batter's box. Time was called somewhere on the field before that pitch. I think one of the players warming up in the Blues bullpen might have let a ball get away from him there. So 0-1 to Comerford. Umpire restates the count and we're ready to go again. First and second in a high leverage situation for the three-hole. Swing and a foul back behind the bleachers. 0-2. The baseball field's kind of on the edge of campus here. We're bordered by a few educational buildings and a parking lot, as well as the softball field down the right field line here. The pitch, curveball, sails wide of the catcher behind home plate, Longacre. He has to chase it. Both runners advance as that ball gets back to the backstop. That was just a curveball that did not curve, evidently, and the runners will move up with one out. Or two outs, I beg your pardon. So, two strikes on the CCL All-Star Comerford, and two RBIs sitting out there waiting for him. Swing and a miss. That'll end the inning on the swinging strikeout. Blues do not capitalize. Despite the 2 hits to start the inning. Still 0-0 through 5.5 here in Danville. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Monte Vista High, where the Blues have turned to the bullpen. It'll be Mikey Rodriguez from Sharon, Pennsylvania, by way of Youngstown State. Stands 6'1", right-handed pitcher. He will deal with the bottom of the order. It'll be Lucas Carlisle, the 9-hitter, who shows bunt but pulls back for ball 1 to start his at-bat. So Trey Legrone lifted after 5 shutout innings, allowing just the 1 hit. A couple strikeouts and a walk for him as well. But as Vincent said before the game, that is the type of length that this team is going to need down the stretch if they're going to compete in the CCL North and eventually in the playoffs. Swing and a drive into center field. On the fly, Cesar Chavez settles and makes the play. So Carlisle hits it hard, but right at Chavez. The All-Star backs up, makes the play. Out number 1 quickly. So back to the top go the Crawdads. Parker Jr. batting for the 3rd time. Foul pop to the right fielder in his first at-bat, and then a ground out back in the 4th, looking for his first hit of the day. Takes ball 1. Sun is still high in the sky, but there's a nice breeze whipping through the ballpark here. That pitch is down low. Two balls and a strike to the speedy third baseman from Walnut Creek. Has made a few nice plays today, showing off his range, agility, and hands over there at the hot corner. Rodriguez sets and deals. That one's in there on the inside. Strike 1. Fastball with good movement, or good run, I should say. Another ball low to make it 3-1. One quick out on the F8 for Rodriguez in this game. Freshly entered arm, working from the windup, pours in strike 2 to the leadoff hitter. This one's on the ground to the left side of the infield. Comerford Fields spins, throws over to first for the out. So quick 2 outs for Rodriguez. Comerford, just another day at the office for Brendan. Cheating towards the middle of the field there. Fielded on his glove side, spun and made that throw. Made it look easy. 2 down for Elijah Ramos, the shortstop. First delivery to him. Ball high. Ramos also seeking a hit. Flied out twice. Another ball makes it 2-0. The man in the on-deck circle, Ellis, is the only player, only Crawdad to record a hit at this point in the game. The 2-0. Inside, Ramos backs out of the way of it. 3-0, time to get a fastball in there for the Pennsylvanian. And Rodriguez does just that. Strike 1 is called. Three and 1 to the shortstop. Bases clear, 2 outs in the 6th. That one's low. Ramos trots down to first base, having drawn a walk. Second walk drawn by this Crawdads team. So a 2-out base runner sets the table for Ellis, who had a base hit into right in the 4th. On designated hitter duty for the black and the red. First delivery, but first a pickoff move over to check on Ramos. He'll get back safely. Infield playing straight up. Comerford just behind the third base bag. That one's outside. Start the at-bat with a ball and no strikes. Outfield's playing pretty straight up as well. Chavez is playing Ellis to go to the opposite field. No true batter's eye here, but there is a black background on the fence. Runner goes, swing on the hit and run. It's out in the outfield. The left fielder, Nahar, calls off the center fielder, Chavez, to make the catch and to end the inning. Hit and run did not work there for Walnut Creek. And we are through 6 innings here in Danville. We hope you're having a safe commute for those of you that are driving home from work. Maybe if you're beating that Bay Area or worse, that LA traffic. Thanks for joining us here on the broadcast. Should be a good one coming down the stretch here between the Blues and the Crawdads. No score on the SLO Blues streaming network. We're back live from Danville and on the campus of Monte Vista High School, where the Blues and Crawdads are scoreless through 6. Seventh inning is upon us. Kyle Becker will get the party started for San Luis Obispo. 0 for 2 so far today. Becker's from San Diego, most recently played at Northwest Nazarene University. He'll look at a ball on the outside. Next pitch is out as well to make it 2-0. Oh, that one hits him. Square in the back. Sam Johnston's in the game, by the way, and the first batter he faces will go down to first base with the HBP. Johnston's wearing number 36 and is from Pleasant Hill down the road, attending UC Berkeley. I spoke with some Crawdad staffers before the game, and they did note that Haskins to Brandt and to Johnston would be at least the pitching strategy to start this game for Walnut Creek. Trying to get some guys in there on the back half of the road trip and heading into the final 2 games of the season. Diego Murillo was stepped to the plate, reached on an error his last time. Shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's in there for strike 1, or ball 1, I should say. So runner on first, nobody out, prime bunt situation. Parker Jr. is a few feet in front of the grass cutout in front of third base, expecting the same thing. He pulls it back, swings up the middle. That'll be a base hit for Murillo. Made the good decision, decided, why bunt when I can just get a hit? So it'll be first and second. First 2 batters have reached here for San Luis Obispo in their half of the 7th. It will be CJ Moran's turn. Hoping to make some hard contact here and put the Blues on the scoreboard. The lefty digs in. Johnston 6-2, kicks, deals outside and in the dirt. Longacre corrals it. No movement on the runners, 1-0. And now there will be a mound visit on the part of the Crawdads. Coach is checking on Johnston, who has come into the game, hit the first batter, and then gave up a single. Definitely, if you're the Crawdads, what you don't want to do is turn that lineup card over again to your 2, 3, 4 All-Stars, not to mention Murillo, who's on first base. He can run. He can get the ball down in small ball, and as we just saw, he can hit for contact as well. .306 is the batting average for Murillo thus far with the Blues. At the plate, Moran's batting .277 in 101 at-bats with 28 hits and 21 ribbies. Looking to get at least 22 here. Shows bunt from the left side, outside. Runs the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Still just nobody out here in the 7th. The Blues have not sent a base runner to third base in this game. The Crawdads have done so just once. That one's out of the zone. It'll be 3-0. Outfield playing straight up. Right field is a little bit shallow. Squares bunt, but it's in there for strike one. You got to think in this game situation, if that ball finds a gap with Becker on second, Regalado is going to give him the wave. 3-1 the count to the Blues first baseman. Shows bunt again down the third base line. It's fair. The third baseman Parker fields it, throws across his body to first base for the out. So a successful sacrifice on the part of C.J. Moran moves the runners up to second and third with one out. And we'll set the table for the Hoosier, Miles Mador. Mador batting .281 with the Blues this summer. 89 at-bats, 25 hits. A few doubles for him as part of 18 RBIs and 10 walks drawn. This will be another mound visit, and Sam Johnston's day is done. We'll have the new pitcher for you when we come back on the SLO Blues streaming network. Welcome back to Danville on the SLO Blues streaming network. Blues and Crawdads are scoreless, but the Blues are threatening with runners on second and third with one down for Miles Mador. The new pitcher for Walnut Creek will be the left-hander Ryan Delaney out of Danville. Was on the roster at Bucknell the past couple years, making a number of bullpen appearances. Kicks and deals. The first pitch is low for ball one. Becker led off this inning. He's at third, was hit by a pitch. Murillo singled behind him, and Moran just laid down a beautiful sac bunt to third base. Next delivery in there for strike one. One and one. Plus situation for San Luis Obispo. They must capitalize. The pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2, time to batten down the hatches. If you're Miles Mador with the two-strike approach, he takes off his helmet, waves the lettuce around a little bit, adjusts his batting gloves, checks the top of his bat, digs back in with a black Marucci barrel. Becker on third, Murillo on second. Got him. with the strikeout. Out number 2. Delaney gets into the game and gets his first batter. It'll bring up Kosei Suzuki. One of only 2 hits, or 3 hits for the Blues, rather, in this game. The first one belongs, or the second one, rather, belongs to Suzuki. Singled in his last plate appearance last inning in the 6th. The first pitch to him, grounded foul towards the Blues on deck circle. We saw Director of Baseball Operations Vincent Regalado, as soon as that pitching change was made, he got together with the Blues hitters and made sure they knew what was going on in terms of what to expect. Delaney throws this one in the dirt. It gets by the catcher. Longacre breaking for the plate. Becker, he slides in safely. It was bang, bang. But he's in there on the wild pitch, and the Blues take a 1-0 lead. On the play, Murillo moves up to third as well, but more importantly, the Blues are on the board. It looks like the Blues dugout has just been issued a warning by the home plate umpire. Getting a little rowdy over there, as they should. It's been a tight game all day. Not a whole lot of offense, but you got a lot of mileage out of your starter, and then the first breakthrough on either side. The home plate umpire not having any of it. I think a second warning was issued. Coaching staff making sure they're on it as well. But some fire coming out of that San Luis Obispo dugout late in the game here in Danville. The pitch, outside and high to Kosei. Runs the count to 2-1. Delaney looking to get his team back in the dugout, runner on third. That's in there for strike 2. Mixed opinions in the ballpark about the call. Obviously no ABS at this level in summer ball. I'm sure Suzuki would have loved to challenge that. Delaney sets, motions toward the plate. That's fouled back toward the screen. It was actually announced just a couple days ago that the NCAA will be permitting the use of ABS in limited capacities in ballparks around the country that have TrackMan capabilities, which the system is built upon. We saw a little bit of it in the SEC tournament this past spring in Hoover. Swing cut on and missed by Suzuki. That'll end the inning with the strikeout. But the Blues scratch one across with some small ball and taking advantage of Walnut Creek mistakes. It's stretch time here in Danville. 1-0. SLO is ahead on the SLO Blues streaming network. Welcome back to the campus of Monte Vista High School. Mikey Rodriguez is back out there for inning number 2 of work. Time to reckon with Riley Winchell, the catcher from Walnut Creek. It'll go 4, 5, 6 here in the bottom of the 7th. Blues are on the board and ahead with a wild pitch, and scoring was the designated hitter Kyle Becker last half. Strike 1 swinging to the 4-hole. I beg your pardon. This one's fouled back. This is the new catcher in the game who replaced Winchell. That'll be Drew Longacre. Longacre's down 0-2. So that one hit the outside corner. Mador thought it was strike 3, threw it around the horn down to first base and C.J. Moran, but it's 1-2. I can't say I've seen that in quite some time. Catcher thinking he had the K, throwing it down before the umpire made the call, but probably one of those you probably would challenge with ABS. 1-2 delivery. Finally, now Mador can throw it around, having the strikeout on the outside half called. So one down here for the first baseman, Cam Taylor. They call him Bam Bam, apparently. Most of the fans here at the ballpark seated behind the Crawdads dugout where there's a nice bit of shade. First pitch to Taylor's cut on and missed to the lefty. From Lithonia, Georgia, attending Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College. Ain't that a mouthful? Next pitch is outside. The 1-1 from Rodriguez. Too low. Two balls and a strike. The set and the pitch. Strike 2 called. We saw Ryan Delaney of the Crawdads pitching out of what was a very interesting windup. As there's a ball out. Rodriguez has a more conventional windup. Right-handed pitcher. Count runs full to the 5-hole Taylor. The delivery, swing and a miss. That's a strikeout this time. Mador throws it around to Brendan Comerford, a third. K's for hitters number 1 and 2 this inning. Bryden Bull will make his 3rd plate appearance today, seeking his first hit. Ground out and a fly out for the center fielder thus far this afternoon. As the sun moves from the third base side to the first base side here in Danville. First delivery to him is high. And with the due south orientation of the field, not too many harsh shadows on the playing surface. The biggest shadows being the dugout, which is in foul play, obviously. Cut on and missed. Good breaking pitch. Falls off the table. Sinsheimer also oriented due south in San Luis Obispo. This one's a chopper on the ground to second. Charging it is Alves. He'll pick it up and he'll have no play at first. It'll be an infield hit. That one was chopped pretty high up in the air. Alves playing fairly deep. By the time he got to that ball on the infield grass near the mound, the speed of Bull was too much. We'll bring up Brandon Clisby. We'll bat with 2 outs and a base runner on first. Clisby 0 for 2. Flied out to center in the third. Grounded out to short in the fifth. He looks at a ball out. Clisby, the Alamo native, a sophomore at New Mexico State. Listed as a catcher, but in left field today. You gotta wonder if that was because of some of the realignments due to the late day scratch. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1. Stands 6'2" there in the right-handed batter's box. His sock line a little less apparent than some of these other crawdads. Strike 2 is called on the outside. Clisby steps out, takes some time to adjust his helmet and his batting gloves, taps his white cleats, and is back in the box. 1-2. Called, strike 3. That'll do it for the Crawdads' 7th. Rodriguez strikes out the side, the base runner via hit notwithstanding. And the Blues will look to tack on some insurance as we head down the stretch here on a Thursday afternoon. We'll be back on the SLO Blues streaming network. Welcome back to the campus of Monte Vista High. It's the Blues 1 and the Crawdads 0. Top 8. We'll go 9-1-2 for this San Luis Obispo order, starting with Brady Alves. Right-hander digs in, and Ryan Delaney's back out there. Delaney's first delivery. Alves shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's in the zone for strike 1. The last time the Blues were here was in mid-June. They swept a 2-game series. The first game 9-7, the second one 5-2. There's another called strike to make it 0-2 on the 9-hitter. Mador earned player of the game honors in that first game, going 3 for 5 with 3 hits, including a 3-run homer. Here's a grounder foul to the Blues on deck circle. We'll reset and do it again. Top of the 8th. 1-run ball game in favor of San Luis. The pitch way outside for ball 1. One ball and 2 strikes to Alves. Swing and a miss. Alves goes down swinging for out number 1. So this will be the 4th time through the San Luis order. Nahar's back at the dish. 0 for 3 thus far. Looks at ball 1, out. Want to know to the leadoff hitter. The pitch, high and away. Question for Dean Trainer is now, will he stick with Rodriguez? Or will he go to the bullpen? It is a save situation. That ball's high. 3 straight balls to start the at-bat out of the hand of Delaney. That's a 4-pitch walk to the leadoff hitter. So a chance for some insurance here with 1 out in the 8th. Cesar Chavez trots, walks slowly towards home plate, takes a couple warm-up swings, and is ready for his 4th at-bat of the afternoon. We're number 49. Walnut Creek has called time. Looks like the member of their coaching staff is going to do another mound visit. And a couple Crawdads warming in the bullpen. We'll see if he makes a move or is just giving some time for his guys to get hot. Blues have had problems in the last couple days securing a lead, not holding a lead, not so much establishing one. Obviously the last 2 games established a lead early, only to be spoiled by their opponents. But holding on 1-0 here in the 8th, looking for some insurance with some all-stars at the top of the batting order here. Coach is back in the dugout. We're going to resume play. Shows bunt. Outside, squirts out of the glove of Longacre. Going down to second will be Nahar. The throw not in time. That ball glanced off the glove of Longacre and squirted away towards the Crawdads dugout down the first base line. By the time he got to it and made a throw, which was quite accurate, Nahar had already beaten him to the bag. Delaney sets, looks at second and fires. Ball low and inside. So 2-0. You got to think Chavez is looking for his pitch here, looking to find a gap and to put another run on the board for San Luis. Nahar takes his lead off second. The pitch in there for strike 1. Of course, the only run on either side today came by way of wild pitch last inning. We saw one there. Naharo's caught in no man's land. He started running from second. Delaney picks him off at second for out number 2. It'll be a 1-6 on the out. Looked like a leave early situation, trying to catch Delaney off balance. The lefty obviously isn't looking at him, but it looked like maybe he didn't fully commit. Got hung up in no man's land. It was an easy throw over to the bag to get the out. There's a foul back to the screen to even the count at 2. We talked about in the open yesterday how base running mistakes can contribute to a team loss as well. Nahar wishing he had that one back. This one's grounded to third off the glove of Parker. Can't complete the play. It squirts over to the shortstop, Ramos, who picks it up. Comerford will be aboard, or Chavez will be aboard. Beg your pardon, Comerford is coming to the plate.
Now batting the third baseman, number 2, Brandon Comerford.
Comerford bats with 2 outs and a runner on first. First pitch to him is low and away. Fouled back to the screen. Gave him an E5 on that play. Parker, that is. Second error of the day for the Crawdads. Swung on and missed. The throw down to second. Not in time. Squirts out of the glove of Ramos covering the bag. Chavez is in safely with the stolen base. One and two to Comerford. The Blues do have their runner back on second base, this time with 2 outs, with the third baseman Comerford in the box. Still an opportunity for insurance. This one's grounded on the left field line, foul. Hit pretty hard, a couple feet to the fair side, and that surely would have been a 2-0 ball game in favor of San Luis. One and two. The pitch from Delaney is outside. Count evens at 2. Deuces are wild. 2 and 2. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Delaney sets at the hip and looks at Chavez at second. Grounded to the second baseman, Carlisle. He'll field and throw to first to eliminate the threat. So the Blues have an opportunity, do not capitalize on it. Score will hold at 1-0 after 7.5. When we come back, it'll be the bottom of the 8th. Blues are up 1 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Back in Danville on the SLO Blues streaming network, Dylan Perez leads things off for the Crawdads in the last of the 8th inning. Left-handed hitting right fielder from Bourne, Texas. Mikey Rodriguez in there for inning number 3 of work. Right-hander out of the windups, first delivery. Swung on and popped up in the infield on the left side. Comerford calls for it, coming toward home plate. He'll make the play. Comerford showing his experience and veteran nature there, shielding the sun with his glove and tracking the ball down. He was probably looking straight into it. The sun rather, is moving towards the first base side. He was coming in, charging that ball towards home plate. No sunglasses, made the play. There's a shot up the middle off the bat of Lucas Carlisle and into center field on the third base side of second base. The 9-hitter's aboard with a 1-out hit. Fourth time through the order for the Crawdads, Kevin Parker Jr. 0 for 3 thus far. Mikey Rodriguez would love a double play here. Pauses and fires. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball in there for strike one. Oh and 1 pickoff move over to first base. Carlisle gets back standing up. Wasn't taking that much of a lead over there, but nonetheless, Rodriguez looking to keep him close. Oh and 1's the count. Check swing. Did not offer it, says the field umpire to even the count at 1. We're hearing the sounds of what could only be football minicamp beyond the right field wall. There's a little practice field for the football team, it would appear, hearing the whistles of conditioning coaches. Strike 2 called. Parker does not like that call. 1-2 hole here. You can only pray that those poor souls out there running gassers brought enough water and enough ibuprofen to last this practice. Runner goes. Ball is in the dirt. Mador can't find it. Goes back towards the backstop. He corrals it. But Carlisle makes his way down to second base on the pass ball. That ball was in the dirt, but probably one that Mador wants back. Didn't really hear too many of the infielders telling him where that ball was. It was towards the backstop. The impact of it hitting his glove slowed the momentum down, but squirted towards the fence on the third base side. Carlisle's speed gets him in there standing. So this half of the inning is unfolding much like the top half did, with an early runner and the offense looking to capitalize. The Blues want to shut that momentum down right here. The count evens at 2 to the leadoff man. Big at bat here in this game. That one's on the outside. Rodriguez wants it. He will not get the call. Walks around the mound, astonished that he didn't get that call in the outside corner. It was a great pitch. But alas, it's a full count here to Parker. What has been a very interesting strike zone. High leverage. There's a walk to Parker. He flips his bat on the way down to first base. We'll have first and second with one out for the 2-hole. Elijah Ramos 0 for 2 with a walk today. And the situations start getting bigger. Here comes Dean Traynor out of the Blues third base dugout. We said it in the open. Free passes will be the death of the Blues, and I think Traynor wants to get ahead of further damage here. I think he's just going to talk to Rodriguez. The entire infield gathered on the pitcher's mound. Probably going to talk some strategy, give his bullpen time to heat up as well. That one's a quick one. The home plate umpire makes it about halfway out to the mound. Traynor turns around, heads back to the dugout. It's always good to give your pitcher a breath when he's allowed a couple runners on, maybe a bit of a traffic jam on the bases. But to regain that composure and to play this game one pitch at a time, the only way it can be played. And so the 2-hole hitter will come up. We've got speed on the bases, both at second in Carlisle and at first in Parker. They take conservative leads. The pitch is swung on and flied to center field. It's a high pop-up. Chavez waits under it, grabs it. Carlisle fakes going to third base, but will retreat. A much-needed out number 2 there with the flyout. So Ryan Ellis will come up to the plate. 1 for 3 with a hit. Traynor reemerges from the dugout. And this time he will make a move. So Mikey Rodriguez's day is done after 2 2/3. We'll get you the new pitcher when we come back on the SLO Blue Streaming Network. Welcome back to Danville, 1-0 Blues. Carson Boyer, the left-hander, is on for San Luis in the 8th.
Now pitching for San Luis Obispo, Carson Boyer.
He hails from West Lynn, Oregon, and is from Gonzaga University, who will be joining the Pac-12. They do not host a football team. He'll deal with Ryan Ellis, the DH. 2 outs. His first delivery is in the dirt low. Rodriguez exits the game. 2 2/3 innings for him. No runs. Couple of hits. 1-0 to Ryan Ellis. Boyer's first batter. He'll pour strike 1 in there. So Legrone going 5 full, allowing no runs. Rodriguez plays a little bit of Houdini, and now it's up to Boyer. That one's foul tipped. We'll make it 1-2. 2 on, 2 out for the lefty. Left on left matchup. Murillo shades that runner to check him at second. The pitch. Seemed to be out. We'll even the count at 2. Infield playing straight up. Outfield playing slightly to the opposite field. The pitch. Popped up, foul. Mador couldn't find it. Falls right in front of our broadcast area here in the stands behind home plate. We'll reset and do it again. Boyer comes in with a fairly sidearm delivery. Don't see a ton of that in the CCL, but always good to mix up those looks if you're a manager. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Boyer does his job. He comes in and strikes out the only batter he faces. And the lead stays intact despite some traffic on the base paths. We head to the 9th inning. It's a 1-0 lead for your San Luis Obispo Blues. Welcome back to the campus of Monte Vista High School. Top 9 Blues lead it 1-0. In the stadium, they're playing There's a Murder on the Dance Floor, and in the batter's box, there's Kyle Becker to lead things off. Ryan Delaney back out there. The first pitch to Becker's cut on and missed. It'll be Becker, Murillo, and Moran this inning. Cut on and missed once again. That one was a breaking ball on the outside. Probably would have been out of the zone. Nevertheless, it's 0-2 hole for Becker to work out of here. Delaney working quickly, sets and fires. Ball low. Becker was hit with a pitch in the 7th and came all the way around to score the lone run in this ballgame. That one's outside. Great plate discipline from the senior from the University of San Diego and also an All-Star this year. Count's even at 2. This one's popped up into the outfield in left center. Bull converges on it, makes the catch in shallow left center for out number 1. We'll bring up the shortstop, Diego Murillo. 1 for 3. Had a single in the 7th, but was stranded. Here comes Crawdads' coach out of the dugout. Looks to be a pitching change, but we'll wait and see. He will take the ball from his reliever, Delaney. Exits the game. His teammates waiting for him outside the first base dugout. We'll keep it right here in the 9th. New arm on the hill will be Edward Said, as announced. Right-hander from Chabot and El Cerrito, California. So it will be 1 down for the shortstop, Murillo. Blues looking to get some insurance before they need to defend this lead in the 9th. The question now becomes, will Boyer come back out there for the Blues and earn this save, which would be a 4-out save, or will manager Dean Traynor turn elsewhere in his bullpen? Keeping in mind that this road trip still has a few more games on it. The Bay Area road trip for the Blues continues tomorrow at Menlo Park at Baylands in Palo Alto with a 6 p.m. start, followed by a 2-game series at the Foresters. So the Blues racking up their frequent flyer miles, or frequent bus miles, I should say, as we head into the final 2 weeks of the season and down the stretch of what can be a grueling division slate here in the CCL North. We'll see how they play that one in the bottom half. But for now, it'll be Said freshly into the game against Murillo. Singled and was stranded in the 7th. It's getting to that point in the game, in that game situation in a 1-0 game where every at-bat becomes a very consequential one. Definitely true for Said right now, as Murillo can get on base almost at will. First pitch to him is swung on and flied. It's in the infield. Second baseman Carlisle will back up on it on the outfield grass and make the catch a few feet behind the dirt. So 2 down for C.J. Moran.
Now batting the first baseman, number 24, C.J. Moran.
Moran digs in with 2 outs. Foul tips that one back to the screen. 0-1. The Blues' first baseman is 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts and a ground out today. Blues looking for a 2-out base runner. The pitch from Saeed is low. Looks like that ball counter on the scoreboard out in left field is no longer functional. That's a shame. But 1-1. That one's in there for called strike 2. The pitch, flied out foul beyond the turtle batting cage and over to the softball field. We'll reset and do it again at 1-2. All the infielders playing on basically the back lip of the infield, except the third baseman, Parker. This one's fouled back to the screen. Quality at bat here for Moran. Right-hander kicks and deals. This one's grounded, foul, past first base. Rolling into the Crawdads dugout. Bullpens are both down the line here at Monte Vista High School, with the pitcher firing towards the outfield wall. Now, the Crawdads bullpen down the third base line is at more of a sharper, more severe angle and is in quite a bit of shadows right now. Moran's going to pop that up, foul, his third such. Of the at-bat. Oh, a quality at-bat by any standard. Here with 2 outs. 1-2, Moran battling against Saeed. The pitch popped up in foul ground. The first baseman, Taylor, chases it. It'll be too far out of play. Umpire calls for new baseballs. That's what happens when you have an at-bat such as this one. You've got plenty of baseballs landing in the stands, landing out of play. Wanting to keep the pace of play good here in the late innings. The delivery on the outside corner for strike 3 called. That'll do it. 1-2-3 for the Blues in the 9th inning. Headed to the bottom of the 9th, nursing a 1-0 lead. The Blues are up 1. We'll be back. Back in Danville for the bottom of the ninth here. The Blues lead it 1-0 at Monte Vista High School. Carson Boyer remains in the game. Dean Traynor looks to him to close out this one. He will face a pinch hitter from the Crawdads. They'll send up number 11, Sutter Moss, a left-handed hitting outfielder, in the 4-hole in for Drew Longacre. First pitch to him is a ball. Moss, a sophomore at San Joaquin Delta from Calusa. Strike one poured in there from the left hand of Carson Boyer. Already back on the bump, working quickly here in the ninth. The delivery. Swing and a miss for strike two. One ball and two strikes to the pinch hitter, Moss. Ball outside makes it 2-2. So 2-2, lefty-lefty matchup. This one's in the air. First baseman Moran tracks it. He's in foul ground, settles under it to make the catch. Out number one. So Cam Taylor comes up for the fourth time. 0 for 2 with a walk. First delivery to him is in the zone for strike one. Love to see Boyer getting comfortable with that strike zone. And on the offensive here in the ninth. That one's a bit high. The 1-1. Swung on and popped up foul. The third baseman Comerford and the left fielder Nahar chase it, as did Murillo from shortstop, but it lands harmlessly foul on the warning track. So a ball and two strikes. You know, Murillo gave chase to that ball. He ended up near the warning track, which is quite the run for him. Will need to get set again at his position. And Boyer wasting no time. Back to work with the 1-2 delivery. This one's fouled straight back. Is in this type of ball game, that's what you want to do if you're a Crawdads hitter, is, you know, work that count, get that pitch count up, and force the pitcher to make a mistake. But so far, so good for Boyer. The pitch swung on and in the air to left center, but right at Cesar Chavez. Moved over to his right to make the play. And the Crawdads are down to their final out here at home against San Luis. Bryden Bull, the center fielder, and the 6-hole batter will come up for the fourth time. 1 for 3. Left on left matchup again. The pitch in there, strike one. A lot of first pitch strikes for Boyer, which is what you like to see here in the late innings when it has gotten away from San Luis so many times in the recent past. His next pitch dotted the same spot practically, 0-2, and the Crawdads down to their final strike. And the Blues looking to close it out. Swung on, fouled back down the third base line. Blues looking to snap that 4-game losing skid against a division foe. 0-2 inside for ball one. And obviously you don't want to get too experimental with it, but 0-2, that you can throw a secondary pitch there, see if he'll offer at it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swung on into the catcher's mitt. That'll do it. The Blues get into Danville, and they escape with a 1-0 victory over the Walnut Creek Crawdads. The story of the game is Trey Lagrone, who goes 5 shutout. But the bullpen, Mikey Rodriguez and Carson Boyer, combined for an effective performance as well. Boyer will get the save in this one, recording the last 4 outs of the ball game. It's 1-0 is your final from Danville. We'll be back with the game totals from Danville. You're watching the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Back here in Danville, where the SLO Blues come into town and take down the first place Crawdads by a score of 1-0. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. The Blues snapped their 4-game losing skid, and they are now in a much better position than they were even at the beginning of this week as they head into tomorrow's matchup at Menlo Park. We talked about it yesterday. The Blues have to play by the fundamentals, reduce those defensive miscues, reduce those free passes. Today, the pitching staff only surrendered 3 walks. Trey Legrone was as good as ever with 5 shutout innings, only allowing the 1 hit. The rest of the way, it was Rodriguez and Boyer, and the good news is Dean Traynor didn't have to dig too deep into his bullpen. He'll have plenty of arms for tomorrow's game against Palo Alto and then the 2 games down south against Santa Barbara. The offense, sure, you have a few holes that you want to address, maybe wanting to jump on some more fastballs early and take advantage of those runners left on base, which was still somewhat of an issue. But, hey, a win's a win, and you'll escape with one 7 days out of the week. Well, it was a 1-0 victory tonight. The team is going to have a great, fun bus ride home as opposed to yesterday's bus ride, which was, reports said, full of snoring and full of sleeping and probably not a whole lot of discussion or banter. I'm sure the camaraderie on that bus will be great headed back to the hotel tonight. And we'll be in Palo Alto at Baylands Park. We'll be coming to you shortly before the 6 o'clock hour. It will be a night game against the Menlo Park Legends. I'll be on the call for that. Hopefully we'll have Vinny back up here in the press box as well. For Jacob Lee and the rest of the SLO Blues organization, hope you guys have a great night. The Blues take down the Crawdads by a score of 1-0 from Monte Vista High School. See you tomorrow night.